name's Jess, and today we're going to go through a heart opening class. It's going to be a short class and to stretch the front of our body as we strengthen the back of our body. Okay, we're going to start standing. So coming into your Tadasana, your mountain pose, bringing the big toes together, pull up through the thighs, tuck that tailbone under, engage the core. As we roll the shoulders down the back, we face the palms forward. Lengthen through the whole body, feel the crown of the head rise into the ceiling. Then on your next inhale, we're going to float the hands up to the ceiling, take the gaze up to the thumbs. And as you exhale, we're going to float the hands back down by your sides. Inhale, connect with that breath. Nice controlled movements. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Nice, one more big inhale. We're going to join the hands together, forming this pistol grip with the hands. Lengthen through the body, and then we're just going to tilt over to the right hand side. Keeping the shoulders rolled back, maybe even take the gaze up to the ceiling. Inhaling back to center. Exhale as we tilt over to the left hand side. Keeping the hips nice and square, keep the shoulders rolled down the back. Inhaling up. As we exhale, we're going to bring the hands behind the back, fingers facing down. Draw the elbows back together. Lift through the chest, take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're pushing the hips forward, maybe taking the gaze even behind you. Inhale back up to center. We're going to draw the hands together. Straighten out through the arms so you can pull the arms away from the body. Take a big inhale here as you lift the chest. As you exhale, we're going to forward fold, bend the knees slightly. As you let the hands just fall overhead. So as if you're trying to touch the hands to the floor. Really opening out through the shoulders. Should feel a nice stretch in the front of the shoulder. Letting the head just fall to the floor. On your next inhale, take a half lift. So we're going to release the hands. Take them into chair, hands to the ceiling. Tuck the tailbone under, strong through the core. Make sure you can see the big toes in front of the knees. Shoulders relaxed, arms strong. Take a big inhale here. Lengthen through the whole body. Exhale as you forward fold, hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift, chest pulls forward, shoulders pull back. Exhale, forward fold, your Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Find that flat back. Exhale to fold. One more big inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands flat to the floor. Step back into your plank. Spread out through the fingers, strong through the arms. Push the mat away from you. Strong plank. And we're going to come over to a plank on the right hand side. So shifting onto the edge of your right foot, you can then stagger the feet. You can stack the feet. You can drop the right knee to the floor. Wherever you are, keep the hip joint up to the ceiling and take the left arm up with you. If this is testing your balance, you can keep the gaze down on the mat. Otherwise, take the gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Nice, strong, keep pushing through that right hand. And see if you can start to hover that left leg from the floor. Then step that foot behind the right leg. Rotate the hips up to the ceiling. Pull them up as high as you can. Maybe even taking the gaze behind you. Coming into a full wrapping. Taking one more breath here. And then nice and controlled. Coming back into your plank. Lower the left hand down. Finding full plank. Same on the other side. Shifting away over to the left. Find your variation of choice. Send the right hand to the ceiling. Gaze right up to the thumbs. Keep that hip joint up. Strong through that left arm. If this is too much on the wrist, you can come down onto the forearm. Then start to hover that right leg from the left. And we're going to step it behind. Rotate the hips up. Push the hips to the ceiling. Maybe even gaze behind. Nice and gently coming back the way you came in. Find your side plank. Lower the right hand down. Come back into your plank. Lower through your chaturanga, knees up or down. Whole body to the floor. We're going to take the hands out in front. High up on the fingertips, elbows facing the ceiling. Push the tops of the feet into the floor, tuck the chin to the chest. On your next inhale, we're going to start to roll up through the spine, keeping the chin tucked to the chest until you reach your full extension, and then take the gaze up. As you exhale, we're rolling back down the spine, keep the chin high until you reach the floor, and then tuck it back to the chest. Inhale as you roll up, really squeeze the shoulders. Straighten out the arms, lift the chest, lift the head. Exhale to lower, nice controlled movements. Work with the breath as you inhale, lift. As we exhale, we lower. Nice. And when you're there, bring the hands under the shoulders. We're going to push straight back over the knees, bum onto the heels, leave the arms stretched out in front of you. So I want to feel a nice stretch down the side bodies. And let the body rest. Rest the chest, rest the head onto the mat. Now to feel this into your shoulders a little more, start to wiggle the hands together, maybe the thumbs touch. If again you feel them come a little deeper, join the hands together at the palms, forehead into the floor, and then bend at the elbows and take the hands overhead. Sinking the chest down. Stay focused on the breath. On your next inhale, bring the hands back to the floor. We're going to tuck the toes under and send the hips up into your downward dog. So really spread out through the fingers. Come high up onto the tiptoes and bend into the knees. And as you send the hips up, think about pushing the chest towards the thighs. So we want to, rather than push through the hands, we want to sink the chest down. So we should have a nice open through the chest, stretch through the shoulders. You can then maybe straighten out the legs a little more, but try not to compromise this open chest. Take a couple of pedals. And then on your next exhale, we're going to roll forwards into plank. Drop the knees to the floor and find your tabletop position. Untuck the toes. So for tabletop, we want the wrists stacked under the shoulders. The knees are under the hips. Let's take a few cat-cows. Spread out through the fingers, turn the biceps forwards, engage the core, set it up. On your next inhale, take the head and the tailbone to the ceiling. Roll the shoulders down the back, lift the chest. As you exhale, we're rounding through the back, tucking the chin in, tuck the tailbone in. Inhale as we come up into a cow. And exhale as we push back into cow. One more flow here, work with your own breath. Inhale as we lift. Exhale to push back. Really spread the shoulder blades down the sides of the body. Inhale back to your flat back. Then we're going to take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend through the knee, point the toe up. As we inhale, we're going to lift the head up, lift the foot up. As we exhale, we draw in that leg underneath us. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhaling up. Exhale, round through the back, draw the knee in. One more here, big inhale. Exhale. This time as we inhale, we're going to take the foot up, not full extension. And then with the left hand, we're going to reach around, take a hold of the foot. If you have a hold, then work on squaring the shoulders off towards the front of the mat. And then you can kick the foot into the hand, peel it up and away from the face, from the body. And as you exhale nice and slowly, bring everything back down into your tabletop. Okay, let's try it on the other side. Inhale, left leg up. Bend through the knees, point through the toes. Inhale to lift. exhale, draw the knee underneath you, round through the back. Inhale, lift. Lift the head, lift the foot. Exhale to round. One more time, big inhale. Big exhale. On your next inhale, we're leaving the foot up there. Reaching around with the right hand. Maybe taking a hold of the foot. Then pull the chest forward, square off the shoulders, and start to kick the foot into the hand. Keep drawing that right shoulder forwards. We want to feel a nice stretch there. And then nice and slowly releasing everything back into your tabletop. Sink the bum back onto the heels, walk the hands out in front of you. Again, your choice, whether you join the hands together, take them overhead. By keeping the knees together here in your child's pose, you'll feel a nice release through the lower back. You may find it more comfortable or just routine to keep the knees apart and let the body sink through. But you don't quite get the release through the lower back. So for this class, just try and keep them together a little more. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, release the hands down and walk them in towards the body. So we're sat up on the heels. And we're going to come up onto the knees. Tuck the toes underneath you. Make sure all 10 toes are tucked under. And we're going to bring the hands to the lower back. Draw the elbows back behind you. So instantly the chest lifts a little bit the more you pull those elbows in. And we want to exaggerate that and lift the chest a little more. Start pushing the hips forwards. Keep the chest lifted. Keep the gaze in front of you. And if this feels okay, maybe the gaze can fall behind. But really focus in on how the neck feels. Keep lifting through the chest, keep pushing the hips forward. On your next inhale, come back up to center. Drop the chin to the chest slightly. So if that felt like your maximum, if you felt like you were getting a good back bend, a good opening through the chest, then come back to that. If you want to come a little deeper, then we're going to do the same movement as we push the hips forwards, lift the chest up as high as you can. But this time we're going to release one hand down towards the heels, find the balance there, and release the opposite hand down. And again, here you can really sink into it, so really push the chest, the hips forwards. Lift the chest to the ceiling, push through the arms, still squeezing the shoulder blades together. And again, the neck can stay strong and look forwards, or you can take it all the way behind. Take a couple of breaths here, keep lifting through the chest, try not to dump into the lower back. On your next inhale, come back out the way you came in. Shift the weight into one hand as you bring the opposite onto the lower back. Use that core strength to come back up to center. So again, you might find that is your maximum and you want to stay there. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little further, just untucking the toes, tops of the feet on the floor. So same movement to get into it. Hands to the back for support. Push the hips forwards, lift the chest, set up this posture. And then the same movement as we drop one hand down to the heel, find the balance as you drop the other hand down. So it's just a little further to bend, coming into this camel a little deeper. Work out where the neck feels comfortable, whether you prefer to keep it strong and look forwards, or whether you prefer to drop it behind. And keep pushing through the arms, lifting the chest, sink the hips forwards, try and relax through the glutes. Keep breathing. Big full inhalations and deep exhalations. And again, we're coming into this exactly the same way we come out. Just sink the weight over to one side, hand to the lower back. Use that core strength to come back up. And we're going to sink the bum down onto the heels. We're going to take a hold of the heels, drop the forehead to the floor. Keep a hold of the heels as you then lift the hips to like you're rolling over your forehead. Push the hips up as high as you can. Take one more deep breath here. And then as you exhale, lower the bum down. Come back up to sitting on the heels. And we're going to take the left hand behind. Take the right hand to the ceiling. Lifting the chest up with it. As you exhale, we're going to windmill the arms, take them in front of you as the right hand comes behind. The left hand comes to the ceiling, gaze goes up. Keep pushing the hips forwards here, lifting the chest. Exhale, windmill the arms, right hand up. Exhale, windmill, inhale up. This time, as you windmill, plant the left hand behind you. See if you can take the hips up to the ceiling with the hand. Exhale, really windmill those arms, exaggerate it. Right hand behind, lift the hips, lift that left hand. Exhale down. Inhale to lift, push the hips forwards. One more time. Inhale, over, lift the hips up as high as you can. Exhale back. Nice. From here we're going to take both hands behind, stay high on the fingertips, lift the chest as high as you can. This time keep the gaze down in front of you. Squeezing the thighs together, make sure the toes are fairly close together. I'm going to start and push the knees up towards the ceiling. Keep lifted through the chest, so you should feel a nice stretch on the front of the foot. Lifting the knees up as high as you can. You don't want to feel any pain, you just want to feel that nice stretch. Keep lifting the chest. And on your next exhale, lower the knees down. Hands come in front of you. And we're going to tuck the toes under. And walk the hands in, see if you can lift the knees off the floor. Find your balance. So find a drishti point in front of you, something that you can focus on. Stay high up on the tiptoes. See if you can bring the hands to your heart center. Stack the spine, lift the chest, shoulders roll down the back. Lift the heart to the hands on an inhale. Find your balance. Then we're going to pull the hands forward as far as we can. And lower the heels to the floor. Keep pulling forwards as you lower the bum to the floor. Take a step out in front of you. I'm just going to shift forwards. Take the feet a step out in front of you, pull forward still. And then we're going to roll down the spine, slow and controlled as you can. Think about vertebrae by vertebrae touching the floor. Until your whole back is on the floor. From here, relax the hands down. Bring the heels in towards the bum and keep them back hip distance apart. And then on your inhale, we're going to push through the hands and the feet. Peel the tailbone off the floor. Then keep lifting the hips to the ceiling as you peel vertebrae by vertebrae off the floor. Keep pushing into the feet. Feel like you're trying to send your chest towards your chin. If you're feeling any tension through the lower back here, relax the glutes. Take a bit of that pressure off. On an exhale, we're going to roll back down the spine. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your tailbone is the last thing to touch the floor. And again, if that felt like your maximum back bend, then stick to that. The glutes can take a lot, so come back up into it. On an inhale, we're going to lift those hips back up. But this time, if you choose to come a little deeper, we're going to start to wiggle those shoulder blades together. Squeeze them in as close as you can, and see if you can clasp the hands together underneath you. Straighten out the arms, push those hands together, and then push the fist down into the floor. Push through the feet. Keep sending that chest towards the chin. Keep focused either on the ceiling, or focus on the rise and fall of your stomach as we breathe. next exhale, we're going to unhook the hands, roll the shoulders out, and then nice and slowly roll down the spine. Nice controlled, mindful movements. Tailbone touches last. Let the back reset for a second. And again, you've got two options there that you feel free to come back up into. But if you'd like to come a little deeper into a back bend, we're going to come into a wheel. So this time, the hands want to come onto the shoulders, elbows up towards the ceiling. So the same kind of movement, we're going to peel the hips up until you feel like you're in your bridge. And then push through the hands, maybe just come onto the top of the head first. And then as we straighten out the arms, we push through the feet, push through the hands. So we're in this bridge position. So from here then, we really want to open up the chest. So push the chest through the arm space. Keep the head nice and strong, nice strong neck. And keep breathing. Your choice whether you choose to gaze at the mat or if you want to keep the neck strong and look up. Feel free to play around with the legs. You can take a step out. You can walk the feet right in. You can test the balance and lift one leg up at a time. And whenever you're ready, making your way back down onto your back, exactly the same way you came in. Nice and controlled. When you're there, I'm going to hug the knees into the chest. Really hug them in. Take a little rock from side to side. And taking the arms out to shoulder height, rest the hands down into the floor. Let the knees fall all the way over to the left side. And just send the gaze down the right shoulder. Just releasing off any last bit of tension we might be holding in our back. On your next inhale, roll the legs through center, over to the right hand side. Gaze down the left shoulder. Still taking those big deep breaths. Noticing how it's just a little different in a twist. On your next inhale, use that inhale to draw the legs back through center. And we're going to take the legs up to the ceiling. Just placing the hands under the lower back. Or feel free to grab a block if you have one to give you that extra little bit of a boost. Just relaxing the upper body. And just allowing this time to be inverted. Starting to slow the breath down. Letting it come back to that regular rate, that natural rhythm. And on your next exhale, nice and slowly, taking the hands away from the bum and letting the feet float to the floor. Taking them out to mat distance, straighten the legs out, arms are down by the sides, face the palms up to the ceiling. If this doesn't feel very comfortable for the lower back, then you can bend into the knees, feet at mat distance, and let the knees just fall in together. We want to find the whole back flat on the mat. Then relax the shoulders down. Allow the whole body to just relax. Feel it releasing muscle by muscle. Until the whole body feels as though it's just melting away into the mat. And closing the eyes down, softening the gaze. Just taking a moment to become present. Just noticing that natural rhythm of your breath. And I invite you to stay here for a few more moments in your Shavasana. Feel free to pause me. watching. Namaste.